Welcome to SHU-fle'd, Siena Heights' very own cooking competition. Contestants have a limited time to create a dish for our judges. The only catch, they have to use secret ingredients that are unveiled at the beginning of the round.
Hi, I'm Dana Schumacher-Schmidt. I'm a professor at Siena. I'm really excited to participate in Siena's own version of Chops because I basically learned to cook from watching Food Network shows. And so getting to participate in a cooking show of my own is awesome. And I've been a vegetarian for over 20 years, and I love cooking vegetarian dishes and experimenting with vegan dishes. So I'm really looking forward to having the opportunity to show the judges tonight that meatless dishes can be just as tasty and just as exciting as dishes with meat in them.
Well, I think tonight I really fight for the repressed irrational numbers. In this country, there's a fear of irrationals. People just, they don't like them. For some reason, when an irrational is in a denominator, they just have to bring it up to the numerator and rationalize it, and it's just really bothersome. So my efforts tonight are truly on their behalf, and hopefully I will do well for them.
I've always loved to cook. I've always been a cook at heart, no matter how small or how petty the dish is, whether it's trying to make some ramen noodles look fancy or whether it's me trying to make the greatest looking cake out of some small materials we have in the kitchen, or looking around the kitchen and saying, oh, what we have? Oh, we got some apples. Oh, we got some pasta. Oh, we got some chicken. Oh, let me try to spice this up real quick before it expires.
I've been thinking about this challenge for the last week, and I'm like, oh gosh, what are the secret ingredients gonna be? How am I gonna incorporate them? And just real jumpy, just really ready to get in there and start cooking.
Okay everyone, we're going to be interviewing the judges right now. You want to tell me your name?
My name is Julius Nagy. I teach chemistry here at Siena Heights and teach the culinary chemistry course.
Now why are you a judge here?
I'm a judge here, I guess, because I teach the culinary chemistry course and people think I know something about food.
That's basically it, okay. Now over here we have
Jamisha Polk. I am a senior majoring in special education.
And why are you a judge today?
I'm a judge because I won last year.
She did win. She won last time. Okay. And last we have over here.
Hi, my name is James Mason, and I'm the sous chef at the dining hall.
Awesome. And that's probably why we got him here. All right. So these are our judges. They're going to be judging round 1 and round 2 for the contestants tonight. First round of SHU-fle'd is going to get started. The contestants are going to go into the kitchen and start on the entree. Okay. So the special ingredients for round 1. We have those pineapple slices because we couldn't fit actual pineapples in the can. More pineapple chunks instead of slices, just because we like that extra detail. We have garbanzo beans. This is a low-fat food, but high in sugar probably because it's low-fat. I learned that in my culinary class. Cool. All right. You learn something every day. Garbanzo beans. More garbanzo beans. At home, do you know what garbanzo beans are? Neither do I. Plain yogurt. The plainest of the plain. So that's the special ingredients for round 1.
I kind of started trying to think of just some basic types of dishes that I could make that could work. So then when I saw the secret ingredients, and they were a kind of bean, chickpeas, that I'm super familiar with, and then some canned pineapple and yogurt, I was like, okay, yeah, those things fit with the plan I had in mind. So I knew right away with the pineapple that I wanted to try to do some kind of fruit salsa. Because there were some really nice looking strawberries also over with the pantry ingredient. And so I thought those in combination with some red onion, and there were limes, I think, so with some lime juice could make a nice kind of quick pickle, little salsa kind of thing. I had the idea of sauteing the chickpeas with some onion and bell pepper and garlic and some chili powder as kind of like the main protein component of the taco. And then creating a yogurt sauce with some of the green onions that were there in the pantry that looked good, and then just some other spices and things. So it kind of seemed like there was a way to use each of the ingredients kind of equally in the dish.
Going in, I was really nervous. I was just really excited to get in there and start cooking. I saw the noodles in the pantry and I'm like, I want to use those noodles. So I decided to make this really creamy like pasta dish using the yogurt as like a sauce base. First thing was first, I knew I had to get the noodles cooking like right away. I did not want to serve undercooked noodles. Typically it's like more of a cheese or like milk or like cream base. But I decided to change it up a little bit. I really need a vegetable in this dish, so I see the red pepper and I'm like, perfect. The chickpeas, I was looking at those for most of the round. I'm like, what do I do with these chickpeas? I decided just to add it into the noodle dish and as like an ingredient because I had my peppers, but I wanted to put something else in there besides just peppers and noodles. So I decided to add the chickpeas, and I put the pineapple juice in it too, just to give it a little bit more flavor.
When I saw those ingredients, I had to solve the puzzle of how to use the pineapple. The chickpeas, the yogurt, right off the bat, sounded very Mediterranean. So I saw the flatbread and I figured I could make kind of like a hero sandwich. I aggressively spiced the chicken, made a homemade little curry blend, heated it up, and used some of the pineapple juice from the can to marinate that chicken before putting it under the broiler. The yogurt made me think of Moroccan, and I went for a mint flavor. But there was no mint. There were no herbs. But I did find infused mint, like a mint flavoring. So I combined that with the yogurt with some honey for some sweetness. The sweet, the spice, I had those already. I needed some crunch. So I wanted to keep bell peppers raw. I wanted the lettuce raw to give that crunch, that bite.
I already knew from the start I wanted to have chicken. Got the chicken out, washed the chicken, threw the chicken in, seasoned it with the salt and everything. My goal was to clean some of the lettuce so that I can have it laid out on the plate. So I washed the lettuce. I took out the ingredients. I saw that we had the garbanzo beans, or what everybody called them as chickpeas. I'd never seen those a day in my life, so I was already for a loss with that. I was like, I have no clue what to do with this. I can heat it up, but I don't know if it's gonna make it taste any better. I don't know how to make it taste any better, so why not make it for some decoration? Let me just sprinkle it around the plate. I didn't really think about the yogurt that much. It literally slipped my mind, and then about maybe with 7 minutes left, I looked at the yogurt and I was just like, what am I gonna do with this? And then I sat and I thought about it. I was like, I bet you they put yogurt on the bottom of chicken at fancy restaurants. Let me just put some yogurt on the bottom of my chicken.
But I was pretty happy with the dish I made. I thought presentation-wise it was okay, but I knew flavor-wise it was definitely there.
I think where I got into a little bit of trouble was not really factoring how long it would take to heat up the tortillas. So I definitely wanted to toast them, and I was using the saute pan for my chickpeas, so I wanted to use the toaster oven. And originally my thought was like, okay, with 5 minutes left on the clock, I need to have these things in the toaster oven. And I definitely needed a little bit more time than that, because then when it came down to plating, like those last 2 minutes went by in a flash, and I was just throwing stuff on the plate at the end. I think poor Julius probably got like a plate full of onions.
2, 1.
It was super nerve-wracking just sitting there waiting for the judges to come up with their end results. It was just really quiet and kind of awkward for most of the time.
All right, so the judges have made their decisions and the contestants are back. So we're gonna let Julius take over and express what all three judges have talked about.
Okay, we're going to talk about the two student dishes first. Megan, the judges liked that you kind of blended everything into one dish. You added some flavors. We thought it was really well composed, and thought that you made some really good choices, particularly for somebody who, I assume you haven't had any training in cooking anything, so we thought you made some good choices with blending flavors.
It was kind of up in the air. Some of my contestants had so many things going on with their dish. I feel like they had like side dishes and different aspects going on, so it was definitely a question.
Gerard, we like the flavor of the chicken. We like what you did with the yogurt on the bottom. The biggest thing we thought was your elements were separate. It was like a chicken dish, and then the chickpeas and then the pineapple were just disjointed. There's nothing that kind of brought them together. There was no unifying flavor. So we select Megan to go forward into the next round based on those dishes.
I already, like, there was no way I got outclassed, and it was slightly humbling, but at the same time, you know, you live and you learn. Sometimes you just don't come up with the best plan.
Dana and Andrew David, you guys took very similar approaches because you both presented things on almost like another plate, because a tortilla is like another plate, and we didn't pick up the the pita, but we ate off the pita, so we thought that was a good use of that thing from the pantry. We thought the taco was a great idea, blending all this stuff together. It's always a good approach. There were a lot of layers of flavor. You brought some things to the pineapple that were kind of unexpected, so it gave the pineapple a little bit different flavor. Andrew David, I know I tried to factor the chicken out of it because I didn't want to fall in love with the chicken because it wasn't one of the ingredients from the basket. The sauce and chicken ratio, there were a lot of things about the chicken that were good. We thought your dish was a little bit more complex. There were a few more things going on, a little bit more spices. One of the judges said that we thought you got a little bit further out of the box. So between the two, we select Andrew David's dish as the winning dish to move forward.
I mean, I think basically everything that they said, you know, it all made sense. I agreed, you know, with what they were saying. I think the main thing, you know, what it came down to in the final judging, from what they said to us at least, was more of complexity of flavor in Andrew David's dish.
The one thing that made me think I had an edge was that single taco did not seem like a lot of food for an entree. That doesn't seem like a very big dish. And one thing I really wanted to make sure I did is that I would create whole entrees, because that's what we were told to do.
So yeah, let's give a big round of applause for everyone who performed in the first round. You guys did great. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, now round 2 is going to begin, and we have our student and our staff going head to head, and an entree, 30 minutes to complete the meal, so you guys can have it on end.
It was a sigh of relief, but for my cooking career, it's not going to stop me from cooking. I love cooking. I mean, it's in my blood. I was raised in the kitchen by my mom and my grandma, so.
It wasn't too nerve-wracking. There was a very supportive audience that was cheering for me and things like that, so that helped too.
I was so excited just to see I can move on to the next round. I can keep cooking, I can cook something else.
Feedback was spot on. I think that they told me that I was able to do what I tried to do. They were interested in my perspective, my motives, and I thought I was able to express those pretty well.
So now for round 2, special ingredients. Elbow macaroni, not knee macaroni, elbow. Then we got some avocados, another avocado, and lastly, that mild cheddar cheese. We got the mild because they couldn't handle the hot stuff. So that's going to be round 2, special ingredients.
And once I saw what the ingredients were for the second round, then it was like, you know, I'm okay that I'm sitting out here eating a piece of pizza and watching them struggle with this instead of having to, you know, figure it out by myself. It was fun to be part of the audience too at that point.
I saw the macaroni there, I'm like, I've got to create something with noodles, and I thought that was going to be really challenging because you can't make like a sandwich or like a wrap or anything like that, so I'm like, what if I just made a really good macaroni?
Seeing those elbow macaroni, I really didn't know what I was going to do with them. The avocado I wanted to use in multiple ways, because to me that was going to be the star. It's more interesting than the block of cheddar. It's more interesting than shell pasta. You can go for creaminess, you can go for comfort food, but it can also serve as a protein, as a main fat and superfood. And that's when I started thinking about superfoods.
I saw the avocado and I'm like, But then I'm like, if I could mash this up, it could really add to the creaminess of the sauce for the noodles. So I melted the cheese down with some milk, and I made an avocado kind of smashed up with some mayo, so I could add it into the sauce later after I had melted down the cheese and stuff.
So I looked through the pantry and I saw portobello mushrooms, I saw spinach, I saw canned corn, and I thought I can do kind of a spin on many ways to do superfoods. I grabbed those mushrooms and I salted and peppered them and put some oil on them and got them into the broiler. That's how I would get that cheddar onto the plate, is kind of a finishing broil on whatever I put on top of that mushroom.
I'm switching on between boiling the noodles and creating the sauce. Then I had to get a pan on for the wontons to fry those up. Time-wise, it was a huge challenge. I would have had more wontons per like each plate if there was fewer plates. If I had a little bit more time, I would have taken the other avocado and made like a spicy avocado sauce. But overall, I was really happy with the dish. I did some more seasoning. I put the paprika down on top of them. Just made sure it had a little bit more seasoning wise. Made sure my macaroni was well salted and well peppered. I was trying to look over there. I'm like, oh, what's he doing over there? Like, I hadn't noticed all around because I was just so focused. And I'm like,
I had 10 minutes left, and I really didn't know what to do. I had a salad, which I thought was really good. I had my mushroom dish, but 2 elements on a plate, you're off balance. So I needed a 3rd element. And I had some leftover pasta. I had all this cheese that I hadn't used. And I thought, what the heck? I can whip up mac and cheese in 10 minutes. It gave a bit more balance to the plate.
All right, everyone. The moment we've all been waiting for. The winner of the $25 Meyer gift card. You know what? That's nothing. When we look at something, golden spatula, touched by Midas himself. Everyone wants it. It's the hot thing right now. The spatula's so hot right now. We're gonna see if it's faculty and staff or if it's the student winning it. We're gonna have the judges right now explain the good, the bad, the ugly out of the contestants. So let's hear it, guys.
Well, first off, there's really no ugly.
There's no, yeah, it's just me. Just me.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Andrew David, let's start with your dish because we had that dish first. We thought the dressing on the salad was really good. Having the Dijon with the corn was surprising, and it just kind of tied that whole thing together. We thought your approach to the macaroni and cheese was out of the box because you normally get creamy macaroni and cheese that's very, it's orange. That's what everybody thinks of macaroni and cheese. But it was a little bit denser. It wasn't the creamy thing. It was cheese and macaroni. It was very basic, and it was pretty good. We thought your dish kind of came across almost as a vegetarian dish because vegetarians choose the mushroom is like the steak of the vegetarian, so it's kind of an interesting approach that worked really well. We thought the macaroni and the salad on top was pretty good. We wish the mushroom would have had a little bit more flavor. A little butter always helps a mushroom, so that might have been something to do. But we thought the dish was well thought out and really well composed.
he had so many things, and the judges seemed like they really liked him.
I thought the presentation really worked well. I didn't put too much on the plate. I had balance, I had color. It wasn't quite as monotone.
I was pretty nervous. Like, this guy I was competing against, he had like 3 dishes on this plate. I'm like, how did he have time for this?
Megan, we thought your dish was really out of the box. I mean, when we saw the wontons and the macaroni and cheese going into the wonton, we're like, what is she doing? And even went so far to use a fork to close it. It's like classic ravioli technique. I wasn't sure it was going to work with wonton wrappers, but it did. It worked really well. We liked that you added some spice to it. You could rub it in the spice as much as you wanted, so you had that variability. The judges would suggest a dipping sauce might have been another way, but realize you're under the clock. But that would be another way to get that spicy choice thing going, is to dip it. On the downside, one of the things was we thought it was more of an appetizer than an entree. So it's a minor technicality, but at a minimum, we think it's a business opportunity. We would encourage you to go to a local restaurant or someone and make it for them. They might want to put it on the menu because it was that good and that far out of the box. We do think the avocado got lost. That's the one thing, in the ones we had, there wasn't a lot of avocado that we could see or taste. So I will say that this is a split decision. This is not a unanimous decision one way or the other.
I was really happy with my dish, no matter how they felt about it. I know that I make these wonton things a lot. I don't usually put macaroni in them or anything, but it's something I would have eaten, would have enjoyed to eat.
The judges have leaned in favor of Andrew David.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, judges. I'm very grateful, very proud recipient of the Golden Spatula Dreams.
And how about we get an applause for all of it?
I'm going to be cooking all summer, just working and proving my skills, keeping at it.
Eloise, Isabel, this is for you. I did it. Yes.
All right, so that's going to do it for SHU-fle'd. Thank you everyone for coming and everyone watching at home. Thank you guys. Awesome contestants we had this time, and we'll see you on the next episode.